both not strict at all. My dad probably would let me get away with more stuff than my mom, but my mom's not strict.
John Travolta, renowned for his stellar performances, has defied stereotypes and carved his place as a Hollywood legend. Yet, amidst the acclaim, applause, and awards, his journey has been colored by varying controversies. Now, breaking the silence on long-held speculations is none other than his 25-year-old cherished daughter. With a unique insight into her father's life and journey, her stunning revelation is sending shockwaves through the entertainment world. Join us as we delve into the captivating details of this revelation, as she finally confirms what we thought all along. Before we delve right into these juicy details, it is important we understand where it all began in John Travolta's early life. Early life of John Travolta. Born and raised in Englewood, New Jersey, an inner-ring suburb of New York City, John Travolta was the youngest of 6 children. His father, Salvatore Sam Travolta, was a semi-professional American football player turned tire salesman, while his mother, Helen Cecilia, also known as Nay Burke, was an actress and singer before becoming a high school drama and English teacher. Travolta's siblings, Joey, Ellen, Anne, Margaret, and Sam, were all influenced by their mother's passion for theater, leading them to become actors. His father had Italian-American roots, and his mother was Irish-American. He attended Dwight Morrow High School, but dropped out as a junior at age 17 in 1971. Unlike many Hollywood tales, Travolta's childhood was filled with love and support from his parents. However, this nurturing environment may have shielded him from life's challenges, leaving him somewhat unprepared for the world outside. In his biography, John Travolta, Back in Character, author Wensley Clarkson paints a picture of a shy and academically disinterested teenager deeply attached to his mother. Travolta found solace in Broadway musicals despite his struggles, igniting a passion that would define his future. Yet, his uniqueness invited bullying and social awkwardness, making school a difficult time. Nevertheless, Travolta's determination drove him to pursue acting. At just 17, he made the bold choice to drop out of high school, setting forth on a path that would eventually lead to his rise to stardom. So, what could be the recent revelation that his daughter has just revealed? Keep watching to know. Travolta's journey to stardom. Travolta's journey to stardom began as a life-changing decision he made at age 17. With his parents' support, he left high school for good and began the pursuit of his acting passion. While his peers focused on conventional paths, John had his sights set on something greater. Even with growing criticism from his friends, who couldn't quite grasp his unconventional choice, John remained focused on his journey to become an actor. Setting his sights on New York City, John embarked on a journey that would soon see him landing roles in the touring company of Grease and on Broadway in Over Here. His talent quickly garnered attention, opening the doors to him for a future in Hollywood. His initial ventures into the industry included roles in shows like Emergency and the horror classic Carrie, laying the groundwork for his ascent to stardom. However, it was his portrayal of Vinnie Barbarino in Welcome Back, Kotter that made him famous. Audiences worldwide were captivated by his magnetic presence on screen. Yet, it was his iconic performances in Saturday Night Fever and Grease that solidified his status as a global sensation. His portrayal of Tony Manero earned him an Academy Award nomination at just 25 years old, while his role as Danny Zuko charmed audiences worldwide. The success of Grease, grossing nearly $400 million globally, further elevated Travolta's star power, making him an instant household name. His journey from a young actor with big dreams to an international icon tells a lot about his talent, determination, and unwavering commitment to his craft. A family affair. However, the spotlight didn't shine solely on John. His family also had their moments enjoying the fame of their talented son, with his mother and sisters making cameo appearances in his iconic films. Their involvement added a familial touch to John's skyrocketing fame, showcasing their support and unity throughout his journey. As time went on, John continued to wow audiences with his diverse roles, from his performance in Urban Cowboy to his chart-topping single, Let Her In. His ability to seamlessly transition between roles proved how much of a versatile and talented character he was. But life had other plans for him, and his journey was about to take a winding turn. Setbacks and opportunities for growth. Life's trials often serve as catalysts for growth. For the harder you fall, the stronger you rise. For John Travolta, this was his everyday reality. His career has been a roller coaster of triumphs, setbacks, and everything in between. Following the triumph of Urban Cowboy, Travolta appeared poised for continued success. However, the release of Blow Out, though praised by critics, failed to garner as much audience attraction as the other movies before it. This signaled the start of a period marked by commercial and critical disappointments. From two of a kind to perfect, it seemed luck had abandoned him. Even the sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, while financially successful, was met with harsh criticism. Travolta's decision to let go of leading roles in blockbuster hits like American Gigolo, An Officer and a Gentleman, and Splash further compounded his challenges. It appeared that fate was no longer in his favor. But just when all seemed lost, Travolta staged a triumphant comeback with Look Who's Talking, co-starring Kirstie Alley. The film's box office success brought back the spotlight on him and reminded audiences of his enduring appeal. Then came Pulp Fiction, a transformative role that defied expectations and earned him an Academy Award nomination, marking a new phase for his career. As Travolta's career regained momentum, he began to explore crime dramas, proving his acting versatility in films like Get Shorty and The General's Daughter. His musical roots helped him stand out in roles like Hairspray, while diverse roles in Swordfish and Gotti kept his status strong. Recent hits like The Taking of Pelham 123 showcased his complete dedication to entertaining the audience. Despite a great career so far, Travolta shows no signs of slowing. With upcoming projects like Cash Out and That's Amore, John Travolta is ready to keep bringing us hits upon hits. Amid his success, one moment stands out. A fling with Princess Diana. One night in 1985, at a White House state dinner, Princess Diana became the center of John Travolta's attention, catching his eye and exchanging frequent eye contact throughout dinner. Luck was on Travolta's side that night, and Nancy Reagan proposed a dance with Travolta for Diana to fulfill her wish. With hearts racing, they shared a captivating moment, holding the entire room spellbound as they rocked and rolled around the dance floor, with Diana adorned in the iconic Travolta dress by Victor Edelstein. That night became a historical one, and in 2019, historic royal palaces bought the Travolta dress at auction for £264,000. This was just a fling, and John was about to begin his eventful yet sad journey to love. He was going to learn that loving is choosing to give a part of yourself to make the other person complete. His love life. John's love life has been as eventful as his acting career. Before Kelly Preston, whom he settled down with, he had his fair share of romantic ups and downs. At just 13, John fell for Denise Worms, sparking a classic teenage romance. Their friendship blossomed into something deep that lasted for over 5 years. But as John pursued acting, their paths diverged. Distance strained their relationship, leading Denise to finally end it. John was heartbroken so badly, but clouded the incident with his busy acting schedules. While performing in Greece in San Francisco, John bumped into Denise and hoped for a reunion, but Denise revealed she was getting married. It took time for John to accept this twist of fate. He had hoped for so much for the two of them. After the heartbreak, he was left feeling isolated and lonely. And in his loneliness, he missed the fact that what he really wanted was a friend, not even romance. But the universe was merciful enough. And so, in an unexpected twist of fate, he stumbled upon the best companion he could ever ask for: Joan Prather. Joan Prather and John's involvement with Scientology. If you've ever wondered how John Travolta got involved with Scientology, you'll be shocked to learn how a simple act of kindness can change a person's entire religious perspective. It all began with a chance encounter with an old friend, Joan Prather, during a turbulent period in his life. Joan Prather, an American actress, is famous for her role as Janet MacArthur Bradford in 8 is Enough. Born in Dallas, Texas, she started acting in school plays and was a regular on the teen dance show Somepin' Else during high school. She graduated from Highland Park High School in 1969. Her film credits include The Single Girls, Big Bad Mama, The Devil's Rain, Smile, Rabbit Test, and Take This Job and Shove It. She also appeared in TV series like Executive Suite, 8 is Enough, Chips, Fantasy Island, and Battle of the Network Stars in 1980. During her teens, she danced on a local Dallas teen dance TV show called Somepin' Else, which was like American Bandstand. Prather stopped acting in the late 1980s. While filming Devil's Rain, a movie centered around a satanic cult, John reconnected with Joan Prather. She became a beacon of hope in his gloomy world. Both longing for companionship, they found solace in each other during a challenging time. At a time when John's existing friends weren't providing much support, Joan was a game changer. Not only did she offer friendship, but she also introduced him to Scientology, a belief system she had followed for years. Their reunion coincided with John falling ill with the flu. And after Joan performed a Scientology practice called Touch Assist, John was deeply moved by her selflessness. It was the first time someone had helped him without expecting anything in return. This act touched him profoundly, leading him to immerse himself in Scientology almost instantly. It seemed to strike a chord deep within him, resonating with his innermost being. Joan was previously married to James J. Fiducia, and she is now married to lawyer Douglas J. Fry, residing in Malibu, California. In September 2008, she was arrested for felony hit-and-run in Malibu and released on $50,000 bail. Love and tragic loss. As they say, life has a way of coming full circle. Shortly after finding comfort in Scientology, John's heart found love once again. Finding love after his last heartbreak serves as a reminder that no matter where life takes us, it often brings us back to where we belong. This love story began when a young and enthusiastic John Travolta landed a role in a movie called The Boy in the Plastic Bubble. Little did he know that this would mark the beginning of a poignant chapter in his life. On set, he crossed paths with his co-star, Diana Hyland, who, despite being 18 years his senior and playing his mother in the film, captured his heart. Despite their age difference, Travolta and Hyland found themselves drawn to each other and started a relationship. As Travolta rose to fame with Welcome Back, Kotter, and Hyland starred in 8 is Enough, Their love story seemed like a match made in Hollywood. Travolta was so committed to their relationship that he vowed to his sister, Ellen, "If I go into this relationship, I'm going all the way. I'm just so scared. I don't want to be hurt again." Unfortunately, his fear turned into reality when tragedy struck. Hyland was diagnosed with breast cancer, having already undergone a partial mastectomy. They were ready to push through this diagnosis and kept on with their talks of marriage and children. But fate had other plans. During the filming of Saturday Night Fever, Travolta, as if he knew what was on the way, rushed back to LA to be with Hyland. But that was going to be their last time together, and she passed away the following day. Travolta described it as the hardest 10 weeks of his life. Reflecting on that period, he shared how the grief influenced his performance in the movie. He didn't hold back when expressing his love for Hyland, saying, "I have never been more in love with anyone in my life." He even disclosed their plans to move in together and the possibility of marriage if she had survived. The second battle with cancer. Life can be unpredictable, throwing unexpected challenges our way. For John Travolta, after the loss of his girlfriend Diana Hyland, another battle awaited. Cancer was not done stealing the people he loved the most. This time, it came for his mother. While riding the wave of success from his role in Grease, his mother, Helen Travolta, quietly fought her own war against breast cancer. Helen chose to shield John from her illness, not wanting to add to his grief. When John eventually learned about his mother's condition, he didn't hesitate to support her. He visited her daily and even sang to her in an effort to lift her spirits. He tried all he could as a son to alleviate her sufferings during her last days on Earth. But his efforts were too little compared to the strong claws of death. And 8 months after finding out about his mom's health, she passed away. Tragically, Hyland and his mom weren't the only women Travolta lost to breast cancer. More heartbreak followed in the years to come, adding to the complexity of his romantic journey. Resilience and standing strong. During his period of mourning, John fought hard to stand strong amidst the unnecessary publicity the situation was giving to him, especially the public eye and the expectations placed upon him. Some questioned the attention given to his personal tragedies. Reflecting on this, John acknowledged the frustration some felt, saying, "A lot of people got frustrated when my grief and tragedy got publicized. They were saying, 'Because you're famous, suddenly your loss is more important than our loss.'" Just when John thought life's blows had ceased, another unexpected event occurred. 6 months after his mother's passing, his father remarried the nurse who had cared for his mother in her final days. While this news had a lot of controversies to it, John's response was notably calm. "June is a very nice lady," he noted. But the challenges continued for John. He continued to face more loss and heartache as he bid farewell to additional family members and friends. Yet, despite the adversity, he found the strength to persevere and carry on. Marriage to Kelly Preston. Kelly Preston, born Kelly Kamelalehua Smith, was an American actress known for her roles in over 60 television and film productions. Some of her notable films include Mischief, Twins, Jerry Maguire, and For Love of the Game. In 1991, she married John Travolta and worked with him on several films, such as The Experts and Gotti. Preston's career began when she was discovered at age 16 in Australia and subsequently landed small roles in commercials and films. Despite losing the role of Emmeline in The Blue Lagoon, she adopted the last name Preston and went on to star in films like Space Camp, Secret Admirer, and Jerry Maguire. She also appeared in music videos, TV shows, and commercials for brands like Neutrogena. Preston's last red carpet appearance was at the premiere of Gotti in 2018, and her final film role was in Off the Rails, released in 2021. In 2018, she explained during a Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen appearance how it was kinda love, at first sight for her and Travolta. The couple had an enduring love story in Hollywood, one which survived tragedy and celebrated each other's triumphs. During an appearance on Live with Kelly and Ryan, co-host Kelly Ripa noted that she would often see Preston and Travolta dancing together. It was a theme that came up often. This is not surprising, given that Travolta was known for his moves in films like the 1977's Saturday Night Fever. Preston noted that dancing with him, kissing his lips, laughing, and having fun together were some of the best things about being married to him during her Watch What Happens Live appearance. She said they danced all the time. "The kids dance with us. We dance at the house. We go out dancing," she said. "Yeah, I love it." Travolta, she said, was the nicest guy you've ever met. In fact, the sweetest, and this admiration was mutual. When they got married in 1991, they eloped to Paris after their wedding plans in New York City became unmanageable. They later had to make it official in the States once they learned there were residency requirements to marry in France. Tragedy strikes. Again. When John Travolta married the talented actor Kelly Preston, it seemed like they had everything they could ask for. However, life had a tragic twist waiting for them. Their first child, Jet Travolta, was diagnosed with Kawasaki disease at just 2 years old. Despite their best efforts to support him, Jet's health remained a concern, and at 16, he tragically passed away. The loss of a child is every parent's worst nightmare, and for John Travolta and Kelly Preston, it became a devastating reality. The news shook their world, and they had to find a way to cope with the heartbreaking loss. The circumstances of Jet's passing were filled with sadness. Reports revealed that Jet, who had been battling Kawasaki syndrome since childhood, suffered a seizure while the family was vacationing in the Bahamas. Tragically, he hit his head during the seizure and did not survive. It was an incredibly difficult time for the Travolta family, and they relied on each other for support during this dark period. John Travolta's strength and courage were tested as he tried to make sense of the tragedy. He even performed CPR on his son before paramedics arrived, showing immense bravery in the face of such a devastating situation. Both John and Kelly expressed their deep grief in a public statement, vowing to cherish Jet's memories forever. Their words reflected the profound love they had for their son and the profound impact of his absence. In the aftermath of Jet's passing, John Travolta opened up about the profound effect it had on him. In an interview, he shared his struggle to find meaning in life and admitted to moments when he didn't want to wake up. It was a raw and honest portrayal of the pain he endured, but amidst the darkness, there was a glimmer of hope. Travolta praised Scientology for being a rock of support during his darkest times. He talked about how the organization stood by him for 2 whole years, providing comfort and guidance as he dealt with his grief. It showed how faith and community helped him find the strength to keep going, even when he felt overwhelmed with sadness. As if grieving wasn't challenging enough, Travolta also found himself caught up in a legal battle after Jet's passing. But what triggered this unexpected legal ordeal? The extortion attempt and lawsuits. In a plot that looked like one of Hollywood's thrillers, John Travolta became the center attraction in a court case involving an alleged extortion attempt against his family. The perpetrators of this act included a paramedic, a senator from the Bahamas, and even a parliamentarian, raising suspicions about the behavior surrounding Travolta's son's death. The case's details were as scarce as water in a desert, But one thing was clear: the stakes were high, with a demand for a jaw-dropping $25 million. As the trial unfolded, Travolta was called to testify, reliving the heartbreaking day of his son's death and its painful final moments. The trial dragged on like a never-ending saga, with unexpected twists and turns that kept everyone on edge. But just when it seemed like the climax was near, the plot took an unexpected twist. Confidential information mysteriously surfaced on the radio, leading to a mistrial and leaving everyone wondering what would come next. When the dust settled, it emerged that the case centered on allegations that Travolta had refused medical treatment for his son, an accusation he vehemently denied. The courtroom turned into a battleground for conflicting stories and heated debates, with the truth hanging in the balance, like the ending of a suspenseful movie. According to Scientology's official website, followers are allowed to seek conventional medical advice, but the use of harmful substances is discouraged. This sparked discussions about whether Jet's treatment had been influenced by the church's teachings. After the mistrial, Travolta requested that the case be dismissed. His lawyer made the final plea, stating that the family couldn't bear to go through another round of legal battles. The Travolta family has expressed that this matter has caused them immense stress and pain, the lawyer said, reflecting the family's struggles. But the troubles were far from over, and the cycle of legal disputes and personal tragedies continued. Another legal battle. If there's one thing we know about John, it's that he's familiar with legal fights. But in 2012, he faced his biggest and most publicized lawsuit yet. The headlines blared with news of a lawsuit where the actor was accused of sexual battery and harassment by two male masseurs. Each sought a hefty $2 million in damages. These two individuals alleged that our A-list star made unwanted sexual advances. But John had his trusty lawyer, Marty Singer, in his corner. Marty vehemently denied all accusations, branding them as absurd and ridiculous. Marty also pointed out that the first accusation, claiming that John assaulted the plaintiff in LA, was completely false and fabricated. Well, it turns out that John was busy on the East Coast, filming a movie during the alleged incident. As if things couldn't get any more dramatic, one of them eventually dropped out of the lawsuit due to a timing discrepancy. By May 2012, both lawsuits were dismissed. But that wasn't the end of the lawsuit woes. Besides the courtroom drama, there were also rumors circulating about John's sexuality. Some whispered that he might be gay. And just when we thought we couldn't handle any more drama, more heartbreaking news came knocking. Kelly Preston's tragic death. In 2020, the world was shocked by the news of Kelly Preston's passing. John Travolta, along with his children Ella and Benjamin, announced the devastating loss of his beloved wife to breast cancer. This marked the third time cancer had taken a woman dear to Travolta, and the pain was deeply felt. Kelly Preston, known for her grace and beauty, chose to keep her battle with cancer private. It was a personal struggle, one she faced with courage and determination. Travolta, in an emotional Instagram post, paid tribute to his late wife, sharing the heavy heart with which he carried the news of her passing. The overwhelming love and support from fans and well-wishers showed the impact Preston had made during her time on this earth. Following this tragedy, Travolta has been open about his journey through grief and loss. In an episode of Kevin Hart's Heart to Heart, he discussed the challenges of explaining mortality to his 10-year-old son, Ben, with raw honesty. This conversation reflects the depth of his emotions and the complexities of navigating loss as a family. In a recent interview with Esquire, the iconic actor shared insights into his personal mourning journey and the valuable lessons he's learned. "I learned that mourning someone living in mourning, is something personal, Travolta shared. Mourning is individual, and experiencing your own journey is what can lead you to healing. It's a profound realization that underscores the deeply personal nature of grief and the importance of allowing oneself the space to navigate it in one's own way. There's been talk about John Travolta possibly getting back into the dating scene. Sources suggest the 69-year-old actor is considering the idea of finding love again, even contemplating using a dating service or matchmaker. Could John Travolta be ready to open his heart to new love? It's a question that has intrigued fans and admirers. After all, love has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Despite encouragement from friends and family to move forward, Travolta has been cautious in his healing process. His main focus has been on raising his children and dealing with the challenges of grief as he continues to honor his late wife's memory. Throughout life's ups and downs, Travolta has shown remarkable strength and resilience. Fans admire his ability to endure loss and tragedy, finding inspiration in his journey through adversity. Even his daughter, Ella Blue, speaks to her father's unwavering spirit and strength. Ella Blue, a rising star. At just 25, John Travolta and Kelly Preston's daughter, Ella Blue Travolta, isn't just another celebrity kid riding on her parents' fame. She's a shining star in her own right. With a natural flair for performing and a warm charisma that mirrors her famous parents, Ella is quickly carving out her own path in the entertainment industry. Her passion for acting and music proves that talent truly runs in the family. While John Travolta has spent decades lighting up the big screen, he now beams with pride watching his daughter follow in his footsteps. He often refers to himself as a very proud dad, and his admiration for Ella is evident in interviews and social media posts alike. But the love and admiration are mutual. On February 19, 2023, Ella took to Instagram to celebrate her father's 69th birthday with a heartfelt tribute. Alongside a sweet photo of the two together, Ella wrote that John was not only her hero, but also the most incredible father, friend, and role model anyone could ask for. Her words resonated with fans and highlighted the strong bond the two share. It's clear that John is not just her dad, he's her biggest supporter and guiding force. Ella has also had the opportunity to collaborate with her father on various creative projects. From co-starring in the 2019 film The Poison Rose to appearing together in light-hearted Super Bowl commercials, the father-daughter duo shares an undeniable chemistry on screen. Ella often mentions how much she enjoys working with her dad, noting that they make a great team. Their shared experiences not only strengthen their relationship, but also allow Ella to learn firsthand from one of Hollywood's most iconic figures. In 2022, Ella stepped further into the spotlight with the release of her debut single, Dizzy. The catchy tune showcased her vocal talent and artistic individuality. Naturally, John was quick to champion her music career, promoting the song to his millions of followers on Instagram. He gushed with pride, encouraging his fans to listen and support his daughter's blossoming journey in the music world. Despite their close relationship, John isn't immune to the universal parent trait of embarrassing his children. During an interview, Ella recalled a hilarious story involving actor Taylor Lautner, who once visited their home. A longtime fan of Lautner, Ella was thrilled, but her excitement turned to horror when John casually mentioned that she had previously Googled him extensively. Ella was mortified, but the moment became a cherished family memory. She later poked fun at it by posting a throwback photo with Lautner, proving she inherited not just her dad's talent, but also his good humor. Their playful bond, creative collaborations, and mutual respect make John and Ella Travolta more than just family. They're a powerhouse duo with hearts full of love and a deep admiration for each other's talents. Thank you for watching this video. We hope you found it interesting. Tap on the link that pops up on your screen to catch up on your favorite celebrities. See you there.